get your thoughts on AOC's account of what happened that day. She was in the Cannon office building. Tell me what you think.
Well, you know, I mean, part of me just says this is par for the course for her. But, you know, I'm not going to say she wasn't terrified or shouldn't have been terrified. That's personal. But I will tell you this. My office is in the Cannon building. My office was evacuated. I think there was a lot of stress going on there. Yeah. But I really think that she's trying to hype it. And she does a great job at melodramatics. She does a great job of hyping her story. And she does a great job of always playing the victim. And that's what she does here, too. I mean, to say that the police officer, the Capitol police officer, comes in and he's shouting and she's terrified because he has anger in his eyes. Right. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe she had been hiding in the bathroom. So how did that work out? She's hiding in the bathroom, the rest of her staff's out front, and the guy comes in and she visits another person's office. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what to think about it.
I mean, yeah, it's sensitive because you don't know how emotional she was, all the other things like that. But I think that's what really irritated a lot of people is the one person that came to protect her, she manages to criticize, and that person happens to become a cop. And when you're a left-winger in a time when cops are under assault all the time, it's like, I mean, why would you even make that statement? Why go after the guy that came there to protect you? It didn't make any sense. We'll leave it at that on AOC. I want to talk about something else, though, for a minute here. Freshman Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, a hot topic today. The House voting 230 to 199, stripping Taylor Greene of her committee assignments because of past comments she's made. 11 Republicans joining the Democrats. This is a woman that's made a lot of Republicans uncomfortable with some of the things that she has said. What do you think of this vote stripping her of her assignments?
No, I think it's horrible. I mean, look, she said things that I find odd, okay?
Sure.
I mean, but
to put it lightly,
the reality is, that's what the First Amendment protects. She was not a member of Congress at the time. She's allowed to make odd statements. All of that stuff was out, by the way, when she was running for office. Her constituents voted her in overwhelmingly. And for the first time in American history, the Democrats decided to go after a strong conservative woman who is a Trump supporter. And, I mean, this is just the first. I think they're going to try to run people after her down and come after her. This is just the first. It's absurd.
Yeah, I mean, here's one of your tweets from today. Time for Republicans to do what's right and correct this unprecedented wrong. Put Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene back on her committees. Could she potentially be reinstated, and what would that process look like?
Well, in order to reinstate her, at this point, the Democrats control. They're the majority, and we could nominate her again for committee, and they could say no. We're not going to grant that.
Okay. I mean, you know, to be honest, I mean, both parties have their targets. She's like the Ilhan Omar for the Democrats. I mean, they're loving this woman because she gives them so much ammo. And I guess that's just part of the game. You yourself have been targeted by cancel culture. Here's a headline from an op-ed in the Arizona Republican last weekend. Representatives Paul Gosar and Andy Biggs can't shake their links to extremists. That is a good thing. What links are they talking about, and what did you make of this op-ed?
Well, the author of that has hated me and written negatively about me for 20 years now or something like that. I wasn't even sure he was still working for the paper, but that's okay. The reality is there are no links between me and any extremists, and this started with a tweet and grew, or an Instagram or something like that, and it grew. And you know, we've been trying to get people to take down, but it is the media feeding frenzy. So they take somebody that they think has got some authority or whatever, sure, and somebody puts out a rumor, and all of a sudden the rumor's a fact. And that, be that as it may, you know, you just keep going on. Yeah. You just keep going on.
Are they taking pictures? Are they talking about pictures that because a lot of times you see they'll take a picture that you took with somebody you didn't even know, and they try to say that's a link. Is that what he's alleging is happening?
No. I mean, so this guy goes on Instagram, and We can't figure out where I met him, but I might have met him because, you meet thousands of people. And he said that myself and the two other members of Congress organized the rally. He wasn't even talking about the White House or the Capitol stuff. He was talking about the rally with the president, which is untrue. I didn't attend the rally. I didn't organize the rally. I didn't meet with the guy. I didn't have a phone call with the guy. I didn't have a phone call with the other guys. None of that's accurate.
I got you.
And we've refuted that thing over 100 times. And still they publish. That's the nature of the beast, I guess.
That certainly is. It is today, that's for sure. I want to ask you finally here, Liz Cheney, the big moment last night, the Republicans had the vote on whether or not to remove her from the leadership role. She's anti-Trump. She's got a lot of power in the GOP. They didn't do it. What did you make of that moment? And do you mind telling us how you voted?
So I voted to remove her. I helped lead the charge to remove Representative Cheney. I think it was good. I think it was great that we had a debate. It was great that we had a vote. I was disappointed in the vote outcome, obviously.
Right.
We want to come together. We should be fighting the Democrats, really. But all next week, what you're going to hear are Liz Cheney's statement about President Trump that she made in advance of her vote to impeach him in the House. You're going to hear that over and over again in the Senate next week, and that's the unfortunate part. Yeah,
she gave the Democrats a big gift. I mean, they love her right now. She's useful to them. Congressman Andy Biggs out of Arizona, thank you so much for your time. Good to talk to you.
Thanks. Good to be with you.